Hey friend, welcome to the second installment of the Raw Dog Update, a 10-minute unfiltered, unedited update on community, personal life, and I finish it off with a lesson of the week. My challenge for this is to get through the whole thing without any edits, which I wanted to do because all of my other content is highly edited and highly produced, and I wanted to get better at just sitting down and opening up. Let's start with the community update. Now this one's probably a little bit lame for you, but it's a personal milestone for me. I've finally reached eligibility to become a YouTube partner. So you have to hit a certain amount of hours watched and videos made to be considered to become a YouTube partner, which is where you get paid for your videos. And it's cool because when I started 3 or 4 years ago making self-improvement videos, it was always a long-term goal of mine to become monetized. So to finally reach that milestone is just a little pat on the back for me. Another pat on the back is our first sponsor for the podcast, 8 Sleep. 8 Sleep has completely changed the way I sleep. Basically, I was waking up every night at 3 a.m. because I was overheating and I couldn't work out what was wrong. I almost convinced myself that I must be stressed or I must be getting really sick. Honestly, I was getting desperate. And the backstory to that is my dad was quite a bad sleeper and he ended up dying of cancer. And I often think that maybe the reason he started manifesting that sickness was because he wasn't sleeping, which can be the beginning of disease. So that's a serious way of me telling you that I really wanted to fix this sleep situation. And the 8 Sleep has done that. Basically, it pumps cool or warm water through the mattress topper to regulate your sleeping temperature. And it means that I don't overheat, the mattress doesn't overheat, and I'm able to sleep through the night. So I'm banking like 8 hours sleep a night of good sleep. Lots of deep sleep, lots of REM, and it's completely different to the situation a few months ago. I'm just gonna swivel this camera over here away from the light because it's getting later in the day here in Sydney. It is a beautiful day, by the way. Beautiful blue sky, it's getting warmer, and I just got out of the surf a few hours ago. I'm so stoked to be back in the water, back in the sunshine. And that brings me to the personal update actually, because it is becoming spring slowly here in Sydney, and it feels like a change of season for me personally. Last week we spoke about I was in a real hustle and sprint mode for the last few months because work was slow, and I used it as an opportunity to really re-look at things and look at the structure and look at basically what I wanted to do with the business. And I do think it was actually a sign from the universe that I needed to shake things up a little bit and set the foundation for the next chapter. So with this season, with us going into spring and with me coming out of that hustle phase, it feels like I'm entering a period of receiving, a real receiving period. And part of that is my body just feels a little bit exhausted. So during that hustle and that sprint phase, I spent a lot of the mornings, I'd get up, get a coffee, kind of get jacked up on coffee a little bit and punch out work, get in that really sort of masculine energy and get things done. And there's only so long you can do that. At the moment, I had a coffee this morning and my heart rate was going a bit high. And it's just a sign from my body when I know that I've had too much stimulation, too much coffee. And I think a sign that I need to now move into a receiving phase. So this morning looked a little bit different. I didn't hit the cafe with coffee. I hit the mat out there and did a breath work and stretched and just took things a little bit slowly. A receiving phase doesn't mean you stop working, but it's a way for you to get in harmony with your body. And then that's the key goal for me. I feel like I've felt out of harmony with my body and my nervous system the last couple of months. And now it's just time to create space and make a few little adjustments to reharmonize with my body. Part of that is doing things like breath work, stretching, taking time to create space and slow down and connect with yourself and listen to what you want and what you're feeling and how your body feels. So this is really good timing actually, because Zoe and I are off to England, Spain and Portugal next Wednesday. So we've got a month overseas in Europe, meeting her family, meeting her friends over there. She was born in London, so I'm really excited for that. And the timing of that trip couldn't be any more perfect with this coming into this new season. So I'm excited now because it feels like all the hard work is done with the business and setting up all those things that I needed to do. Now I can trust in the process, trust in the universe, go over, have fun, meet people, still do the work that I need to do, but do it in a more harmonious way. Less hustle and more sitting back and receiving. So I will be doing the Raw Dog update next week. Next Tuesday, sorry, it will still be here. But then the following week, I will be in Portugal, I think. So in Portugal, we're staying in Lisbon for 2 nights, but then doing a 3-night road trip down the south in the Algarve. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a great adventure, and I'm excited to show Zoe that part of the world. Let's move on to lesson of the week. This is cool. I had a guest on the podcast. It's yet to go live, but his name is Jeremy Lipkowitz. He's a men's health coach. Men's coach who specifically helps men dealing with porn addiction. He's based in Bangkok. He's from California. And I was instantly in awe of Jeremy's ability to communicate complex ideas around addiction and why it is that people go towards things like porn to escape problems in their life. And look, he does a much better job of summarizing that. And Jeremy's was a fantastic guest. And one of the many lessons that he left me with during that episode was that a lot of his clients coming from a porn addiction and overcoming that, they then experience something that's known as the bliss of blamelessness. Now, this is when you're living in integrity. So you might have overcome your porn addiction and you're no longer ashamed of what's on your phone or what's in your internet browser. You don't have to lie to your girlfriend. Even if it's nothing too substantial, you're still just being a little bit dishonest with your values. So when you're in bliss of blamelessness, that's when you know when you're not doing anything wrong. You're not causing harm or you're not living unethically. You can walk down the street with your head high, knowing that you have nothing to hide from anyone. Bliss of blamelessness isn't something that we talk about because I guess we've all got a little vice or something that we hide or we don't tell others about. But when you truly do knock over those vices, such as a porn addiction or an alcohol addiction, you've got nothing to hide from. And you're walking down the street holding your head high because you're truly proud of who you are and you're in a bliss of blamelessness. I'm really excited for you to hear that episode with Jeremy. I'm going to launch it next Wednesday, so stand by for that one. And on that note, I think it's a very blissful note to leave it for this week. Thank you for sticking around to the end. I really appreciate you. And if you found any value in my content, consider liking and subscribing. It helps me keep the lights on. And I will see you this same time next week back on the couch. Thanks, guys.